Welcome back again to our channel. I know I've been doing most of the previous videos with Apia, but today I'm coming your way alone. Apia is right behind the camera here, and in today's video I'll be talking to you about how to become a nurse in the US. This video is solely going to concentrate on nurses who were trained in a foreign country, and I'll be using my own experience to give you this guidance in this video today. Stay tuned. If you did your nursing education in a foreign country, and for myself, I did my bachelor's in nursing in Ghana at the University of Cape Coast. I completed in the year 2012, and then I got to travel to the US, and of course I wanted to practice as an RN. You don't want to go to school and not be able to use that education that you received, or whatever that you were hoping to do with that education. You are hoping that even if you travel, you are still able to utilize it. So for foreign trained nurses who travel to the United States, it can most times be challenging to be able to start practicing immediately when you get here. And for my case, it took me about, I would say, 9 months for the whole process to go through. So here on today's video, I will be sharing with you all this vital information so that it can help quicken your process for you, or the process for a family member, a friend that you know. So yeah, once you get to the United States, and before you can practice as an RN, of course you need to get a license. And how do you go through that process of getting your license? That's what I will be talking to you about today. So first of all, you want to make sure you completed your nursing education at an accredited institution in your country, that is wherever you're coming from. You don't want to do a program that is not in a recognized institution, because yeah, I'm sure there are so many new schools that are popping up here and there, and some may not be recognized. So you want to make sure your training was done at an accredited institution. So once you do that, you graduated with either a bachelor's or a diploma, and you got to the United States, you want to be able to evaluate that transcript, and that is where you would have to set up an account with the certifying body called CGFNS. So CGFNS is an accredited institution here in the US that oversees the registration of foreign trained nurses, basically evaluating your transcript to say whether it matches the United States nursing program here. So they will go through that transcript and do it course by course and tell you whether your education meets the same standards as the United States. So for CGFNS, all you have to do is to go online, set up an account with them, fill in all the information that they are requesting. They'll be requesting for basic information about yourself, about the school that you attended, and a whole lot. So go ahead, create that account and answer all those questions. One thing you would have to know about CGFNS is that they would also need your original transcript. They need your original transcript. They will not take a copy of the transcript that you have. So in filling that online account, they will need you to specify the school that you attended and also their address, because they will be mailing a form to the school for them to fill by themselves. Once that form is completed, they will need the school to mail that form back to them by mail with a stamp on it. So there's no way you can do this. So you want to make sure that at least you are in contact with somebody at the school that can facilitate this process for you, because this can be the major holdback to your being able to get your license in time to be able to practice. So once you have that completed, that form is sent to your college and it's been filled and sent back to the CGFNS. They will do all that course by course evaluation and then give you a heads up if your education meets the US standards. One thing that nurses that are trained in the UK have to know is that the training that they do in the UK is a little different from the US. We've had a few people that tried to do their transcript evaluation and were told that their education do not match the US standards. It's just because I know in the UK, right from the onset, most people specialize either in adult nursing, child nursing, or mental health nursing. And so the education doesn't combine everything where it becomes like a general nursing program like countries like Ghana do. So in that case, people who were trained in the UK may need to do additional courses to be able to catch up and meet the standards of the US. So that is just one thing that you have to know if you are trained in the UK. Other than that, I feel like most countries do general nursing as a program, and most of these programs will qualify or meet the US standards. Once the CGFNS gives you the go ahead that hey, yes, your education meets the US standards, what you want to do is to also identify the state board of nursing that you want to register it. So here in the US there are 50 states, and so you want to decide on which state you want to practice in, or which state you want to get your initial license with. For me, I went through Oregon. I went through the Oregon Board of Nursing, and I would say it was a fairly easy process. But I know for some states like New York and some other states, their process is lengthy, and some may even require you to take the CGFNS certifying exam. So that is an exam that will kind of show you whether you would easily pass the NCLEX exam. So some states require that. Some states also require some students who were trained in countries that are not like English speaking countries to take an English test. So you want to know which state board of nursing would be easier for you to get your license through, and know that you do not have to live in that state. You do not have to live in the state that you are trying to get the license from. The best thing that would help you is to get the states that are easy to get a license with, and just do it. Once you get your initial license, you can transfer that license to the state that you really want to practice in. One thing you would also have to know is that even though you may easily get a license with one state, transferring that license to some other state may bring you some problems, because they may need you to also do other things because you were foreign trained nurse. We'll talk about that in another video. Yeah, so once you do the CGFNS, once you identify the state board of nursing that you want to get a license with, you go ahead and go on their online portal and also create an account and fill in the information that they request from you. They'll request for the CGFNS evaluation to be sent to them also, so they get a copy of that. And what they would do is that they would review everything and send you a notification that authorizes you to test for the NCLEX exam. If you don't get this authorization, unfortunately you would not be able to take the NCLEX exam, because you would need that to be able to register for the NCLEX. So yeah, you want to make sure that the state approves you to take the NCLEX exam. I told you he was right behind the camera, and here he is.
Hey guys, we hope you're enjoying this video. If you are liking our content, we encourage you to hit the subscribe button below, use the comment section, and let's get interactive.
So somebody would ask, what is the NCLEX exam? Of course, the NCLEX exam is the exam that you take to prove that you are trained and ready to become an RN that can practice. So most nurses in the US, or almost everybody in the US who is a nurse, had to take the NCLEX exam, irrespective of whether you schooled here or did not school here. It's the licensure exam that you have to take to get your formal license to practice. So that is the NCLEX RN exam. Once you get the authorization to test, you want to go ahead and schedule for the NCLEX exam. So in terms of scheduling, you want to schedule such that you are giving yourself enough time to prepare well to be able to take the exams once and for all. For my case, I studied, I would say, daily for 3 good months. I didn't do any extra tutorials or do any extra classes. I just had the resources that a friend gave me because she had already taken the exam also and had passed. So I used all the resources available to me and studied day in, day out for 3 months straight. I took the NCLEX RN exam and passed with 75 questions. So yes, you can do it, but it involves a lot of work, especially being a foreign trained nurse. The education here is sometimes a little different in terms of how to interpret labs, ECGs, which we as African trained or Ghanaian trained nurses do not have that upper hand. So you have to spend more time in knowing the lab results and interpreting the lab results, reading ECGs, and being able to tell an ECG the interpretation. So these are some of the things that will require you to focus more to be able to pass the NCLEX at one sitting. But yeah, of course, if you do not pass at the first attempt, you can still take it again and pass the second time. I know some people who had to take it 2, 3, and sometimes even 4 times before passing, but it all comes down to how well prepared you are. If you feel like you are the kind that will benefit from taking extra classes, go ahead and join the group and do that. But if not, if you feel like you can study on your own and pass, that's great. It will save you that money and use it for something else. Yeah, so once you take the NCLEX RN exam, you would be able to know if you passed or did not pass. They have a trick that you can use to know if you passed or not. But yeah, once you get that out of the way, I think it takes about 3 to 4 business days, and your results will be sent to you whether you passed or not. Once that is done, you can go ahead and apply for your license with the state that you registered with. You want to know immediately after taking the NCLEX RN exam whether you passed or not. The trick that I mentioned is that once you're done with the exams, you drive back home. Maybe it takes about 2 to 3 hours, I would say, before you try to do this trick. Go ahead and try to register for the NCLEX exam again. And that is the trick. If you try to register and it lets you register, unfortunately means you failed. But if it doesn't let you register, then it means you passed. So you need to wait a couple of hours after taking the exam to try this trick. I don't know if it works, but back then, about 10 years ago, it worked for me. And that is how come I knew I passed the NCLEX before I received my results. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you haven't yet done so. We will be bringing you more information about being a nurse and every other thing that you need to know about being an immigrant in the United States.
Today I was just doing behind the scenes work, and we hope you enjoyed this video. America is the land of opportunities. There are so many jobs that are available for nurses, you know, from foreign countries, whether you are from Africa, from Asia, from Europe. Just take these steps, these tricks. And once you come here, don't give up on your dreams to become a nurse. We hope you enjoyed this video, and until we come your way again next time, stay blessed.